So to get started, I have done the first few pages in my cursive writing book. This is for grades 3 to 4. I have already done my printing or manuscript handwriting book. There was a lot of pages, like 36 pages or so. There's extra from the alphabet, but that's K through 2nd grade, and it was really helpful. So I am trying to work on this one. They don't have it the standard regular book way. It is actually printed this way, a little bit longer, so if that matters, something to know. I've already done the first, let's see, 1, 2, 3 pages, which is basically just practicing upper and lower case all together before they get into the individual letters to practice with. And some of them are really great, and some of them are a lot harder and a lot different than when I learned as a kid. So let's see if I don't get too horribly angry, but it should be really helpful. I do find that this paper in particular, especially for being like a $3.50 book, is incredibly fountain pen friendly, because I write with really wet juicy pens that just like flood ink on the paper, and I really don't have very much bleed through. I have some show through, but it's not very bad. So if you want to practice with a fountain pen on these, I picked these up at Toys R Us for like, again, $3.50 or so on sale. I had a really hard time. They did not have them at Office Max, but they were at Toys R Us, so you can pick them up there if you want to follow along with me. I will be doing some of the practice, not with you guys, because I don't want to bore you to death, but let's just jump on in right now. We'll get started on the next page, and hopefully I'll kind of jump around and skip a little bit so it's not too boring, but hopefully we will get through the letter A today. So that's 4 whole pages for me, because I missed yesterday. I try and do 1 set of pages a day. Today I'm just using my Jinhao X750 pen. This is in the Shimmering Sands color, really pretty holographic glitters in it. I'm using a broad nib, and then I'm using my new favorite color of ink, which is, I can't pronounce the name because it's German, so I'll butcher it, but it's from ROHRER and KLINGNER, and it's like ALT-GOLDGRUN or something like that. I don't know. I'll leave a down below or in the description box. I'll leave the name of it if you're curious. But I did switch the nib out. I'll talk more about this when I go into the review of the pen, but I did switch the nib out for a Goulet broad nib because I did not like the stock nib. I tried, I didn't like it. So if that makes a difference to you, and I do it unposted because I find that this pen is already very heavy for me. But I'm working on breaking my death grip on a pen, and I'm working on getting better posture. It helps when you write. So I am going to attempt not to death grip my pen or get too mad, and hopefully not turn my paper too much. I also have a tendency to write almost completely sideways, which is really bad. You want more of like a, I don't know, like a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to work very hard at that. I'm still getting better, so don't crucify me too much, but this should kind of possibly be pretty hilarious. some of the letters are so different from when I learned. Even in the printing handbook, I was just astonished at kind of how different some of these letters are. And I know that a Q has changed, because when I learned it, it was more just a fancy manuscript Q. It's actually back to basically the regular Spencerian Q of almost looking like a fancy looking 2. So that's kind of interesting. I feel like I have a theory that they change handwriting every generation, so when they look back they can keep track of kind of what generation wrote what. Finally, we are to the letter A, so this is where the section begins, where they work on each individual letter, uppercase, lowercase, and then you writing some words, which is why they have you practice all the letters in the alphabet a little bit, so when you write the sentences out, you already know what the letters look like and have practiced them just a bit, so you're not just staring at their writing example wondering how to do that. Alright, all done? So those were our 4 pages for today. I will do a checkup probably about halfway through the book, maybe around the letter M or N or something like that when I decide to film, and then I will do a final video at the very end, finishing up the last page or 2 and then kind of showing you a before and after of how my writing's changed. I have been taking a lot of your advice and suggestions, so feel free to let me know in the comments down below if there is a specific handwriting book that you think I should try or that you want me to review. I have taken your suggestions in the past, and that's why I have the 5 Spencerian handwriting books that I will get to after this, but I did want to improve my basic handwriting first. It was not bad by any means, but it was not as good as it could be, so I figured a little refresher was needed. So let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say.